Zoe, thank you so much for joining us this evening. We're honored to have you. If you could, on behalf of our audience and those that look at us and listen to our website, maybe just start off with the beginning. How did you get into music? And I know you made a trek across the ocean at some point. Give us a little bit of background on that.
Well, I've always played music since I came out of the womb, actually.
With an
so
instrument.
I was singing. I was like, oh, and I'm from England, and I started playing the piano at a wee age, and then I couldn't. I had to keep picking up instruments all over, and it's an addiction. I can't stop.
Right.
So
better than other addictions.
Yeah, well, I keep picking up. My house is full of all sorts of strange instruments now, but piano's my main. Then I play the guitar, ukulele, and it keeps growing. I love to travel around the world and pick up world instruments too. So.
And at what point did you make the trek across the ocean on a semi-permanent basis? When did you move here to the States?
About 18 years ago.
Okay.
And I never had moved to the States. I just ended up here. That's how it goes. I didn't believe I lived here until probably 3 years ago. Because you're always traveling as a musician, so wherever you land, you are.
Until our government wants the taxes from you, then
that's true.
Then you know
so
you
that's
live
it.
here.
Then you live here. Yeah, that's true. When you get a green card and you get taxed.
Exactly.
That's how it goes.
You have a very eclectic style. I'm sure that's not news to you. Different than many of the traditional singer-songwriters, folk singers, folks that we have here. Tell me how that sort of came to be and your influences.
Well, I used to play in the pubs in England, and one picks up a lot in the pubs. But no, I used to play jazz in the pub. I can do the jazz till the cows come home. I loved Ella Fitzgerald and Billie Holiday and all that, and that was my bread and butter for years, playing the pubs. So jazz is a big, influence on me. It took me a while to discover in my English village what jazz was, but when I found it, I loved it. And then traveling the world has really opened my eyes and my ears to all sorts of different world beat grooves. I was in South and Central America a bit, and I picked up all the Latin stuff, and
that's great stuff.
Great for me. And I love gypsy music too. So anything that, I don't know, gets you moving, really. And then I love the ukulele. That it takes you all back into the old days, and I love the old black and white movies and, film scores, everything.
Good stuff. And these days, if we were to tromp into your house and look in your CD player, what would you be listening to these days?
Good question. Well, a lot
or
of the things.
Sometimes I ask that question, and the musicians say, "I don't even listen to music," which always baffles me.
No, well, lately I've discovered a woman called Karen Ann. It's a funny name. Do you know Karen Ann?
We know Karen Ann. In fact, we've had conversations with her trying to get her here.
She rocks.
Yeah.
Because she's got that whole French thing going on. She's from Israel, I believe.
Not in the States very often, but...
No, but I would fly to Paris to see Karen Ann, I think. And she just did play in Greenwich Village because my friend went to see her.
Wow.
It was really very cash, and I love Karen Ann. Yeah, she's someone who has inspired me a lot lately. I love that haunting French stuff and all the accordion, and I love tango and all that stuff and the moodiness, but she's a great lyricist too. And then there's a guy, Rory McLeod, who's one of my favourites. I think he's living in Scotland now. He's a Cockney, and he travelled the world. He was a clown too, and he stomps his feet and puts tap shoes on and play. He was a big influence of mine.
I've seen that in your show.
Yeah, he's a big influence of mine, and he's someone I listen to quite a lot.
And then lastly, you obviously tour quite a bit. You run into at festivals a lot of other singer-songwriters and folk musicians. I mean, tell me a little bit about your thoughts on the folk scene these days. I ask that question because this is the type of music that we are very passionate for, more than oftentimes what is on the top 40 radio. And I think at times it sort of feels like more and more people are getting it and behind it, and other times maybe it doesn't, but you're out there more than we are. So what do you sort of feel on that?
What about the
state of the folk scene and the maybe hopefully growing popularity of it at some point, where it will become a little bit more available to the masses, or
well, it goes in waves, and I think it's coming back. In England, certainly, there's Damien Rice. I don't know if he and there's all these Damien Rice wannabes that are coming up, and really he's a folk singer with a guitar, and it comes and goes. I think it's becoming cool again. but we just carry on,
irrespective,
singing
right.
our songs, and you have to do it. It's like what I said when I was a little girl. I had to keep playing music, and I think with the folkies, it's important. They're all addicted to it too. They have to. Your heart dies if you don't do it. We're not in it for the money, even though I'm making thousands. But
not tonight though. But.
Yeah, but
Well, listen, we're glad that you feel so passionate about it. We feel very passionate about the scene, but also your music. So we're again glad to have you.
This is what it's all about.